Today, we're going to be talking about those high notes!
Shut up and sing with Heather.
Hi, and welcome to Shut Up and Sing with Heather. I'm Heather, your professional voice teacher, here to give you some helpful hints and tips to make you the best singer you can be. Today, we're going to be talking about those high notes. They can certainly be a problem sometime, and today I'm going to give you some helpful suggestions on how to reach them. Now, there can be lots of problems going on with there, but there's certainly a few things on our checklist that we should go over. Number one, first hack of singing is we're singing vowels and not words. So what does that mean? It means we really need to focus on the vowel sound pretty much all the time, but especially when we go for those high notes. So let's think about a word that has one of those diphthongs I had talked about in an earlier video, the word light. So if we break it down, lie, that's second vowel sound, the E, that's the diphthong. And we can get ourselves in big time trouble with that. So let's hit a high note and see how it goes if I sing on that diphthong. Light! Oh, I don't love that, and I don't love the way it feels. Because as I go for that smaller vowel sound, the E, my tongue starts to rise up, the larynx starts to rise up, we're in big trouble. So we want to just sing on the main vowel sound, the Ah. Light! Ah, that feels pretty good. I think it sounds pretty good too. So we're going to pretty much drop that diphthong, pretend like it's not there, and just focus on that vowel sound. So drop the diphthong and focus on the vowel sound. Now, another thing that is a problem is we have lots of different kinds of vowel sounds. And when we have an ah or an eh, we're going to be in good shape because those vowel sounds are going to encourage us to drop our jaw. But when we have things like e and ooh, we can get ourselves into a little bit of a pickle there. So if I'm going to sing the word me, and I'm just going to sing it, kind of low, me, I don't need a lot of space in my mouth. But if I'm going to take that same word and bring it up, me, oh boy, I'm about to get myself in big trouble. I'm definitely going to crack. So as we go up that scale, we're going to need to modify the vowel. So that means I'm going to actually just drop my jaw, and in my ear, it's going to sound like I'm saying meh. All right, let's give it a try. Me. Ah, that feels a lot better, and I think it sounds better too. So you have to play around with this, but be selfish. So if you start to go for those high notes, you're singing the word like you, and it starts to feel tight, be selfish. Open up to a vowel that feels good. We can always move around our articulators, the front of the mouth, the lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue, to create a rounder sound from the front of the mouth while keeping the back of the mouth nice and open. Which brings us to our next point, and that is that the larynx, remember here's my fancy diagram, here's the larynx, here's the muscles attached to the larynx, needs to stay down when we're going for those high notes. As a matter of fact, it actually has to descend ever so slightly to get those high notes. Who knew? You might have thought that the larynx actually had to go up to get those high notes, but unfortunately, that's not the case. It needs to go down. So you need to make sure that you have a feeling of sitting on the high note. So if you catch yourself doing two things that teachers definitely look for, you know you're getting yourself in trouble. One is getting on the top of those toes while you're going for those high notes, and the other one is looking for the high note somewhere in the heavens. So once you start doing that, as a voice teacher, I don't even need to hear it. I know that it's not going to be your best work on that high note because already things are thinking they need to go up when in fact they need to go down. So I have a quick little exercise I like to do with my students. It's a physicalization to encourage the larynx to stay in that comfortably low position. So we can start out on just an exercise doing a triad. Really easy. And as we go for the upper note there, we're going to do a gentle knee bend. We don't have to go down really far. And we want to make sure that our torso stays nice and straight and our chin doesn't decide to not participate, right? So everything just goes down a little, and we do that as we go for the high note. So let's look and listen. And then as we go higher, lots of space in the back of the mouth. So you want to make sure that you're keeping that space in the back of the mouth. Remember, we create space during the inhalation, and then as we're singing, particularly going for those high notes, really feel that space actually expand back there. And it can be difficult with words. Making sure also that any consonants that might be getting in trouble, R's are not a vowel and we shall not sing on them, or anything else that's giving us trouble as we go for those high notes. You've got to drop it during the practice session. Remember, we're singing based on sensation. So if we continue to do things that are not working, we're just telling our body to continue to do that. And you need to figure out what really works. So if you're going for that high note and whatever the word is really bothering you, just drop out the word. Sing it on an ah or an eh or something that feels really, really good. Tell your body, hey, body, that's the way it's supposed to feel. And then you can slowly work that word back into it. Start with just the vowel that's appropriate for that word, and then start putting the consonants on there. You'll start to figure out what the problem is. I encourage you to listen to singers that you really like and see how they're modifying vowels on the top, and also how they're dropping their jaw if you're watching them in a video. I hope some of these have been helpful for you. Now get out there, shut up, and sing some high notes.
But it dee da dee do da 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 do but dee da dee da hey hey hey.